to review their resume, to critique their resume. And I noticed that there are several mistakes that people leave on their resume, maybe a typo. Those things will not be easily forgiven if you have a typo in your resume. And when we talk about resume, you have to make sure that you do your proper keyword search to make sure that, because these days is not, there are thousands of people applying for jobs, right? It's not going to be just one recruiter going through 1,000 resume. They use technology to quickly scan your resume. So you want to make sure that your resume contains the proper keywords. Uh, I do not have a screen to share right now. Otherwise, I'll show you a typical resume template, and maybe we'll leave it in the chat for you to go over later.
You can share your screen. If you want to share screen, that's fine.
Okay, let me see.
And I'm gonna make you the host. Now you can try to share screen.
Okay, hold on a minute. So here's one. Your resume should contain your.
You didn't share your screen
Oh,
yet.
I'm not sharing. Okay. Okay, let's see.
Just click there's a green button at the bottom there.
Oh yeah, now I see it. Share. Okay, only host can share.
Yeah, you should be able to share.
Okay. Okay. Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So your resume should contain a professional summary. Okay, is it clear now? Can you see?
Yeah, we can see now. Sure.
So your resume should contain, of course, your name, your email address, your phone number, so that the recruiter can easily contact you. It should contain your professional summary as well, what you have done in the past, and your professional summary should also communicate to your potential employer what you are also capable of doing. Your key skills should be listed on your resume. There should be a section for your education. If you have any professional certification, then you should also include it as well. You should then go, I do chronological order, putting the most relevant or my current job as the first one on my first experience on my resume. So then you list your professional experience. One thing that I learned is that when you are reporting your experience on your resume, you should try to quantify it based on what you have achieved. Uh, for example, you can say, I did A, maybe I reduced the time it takes to process an order by how much you put a percentage. Or if you saved money for your business, you should put all those things there. If you are a project manager, maybe you always deliver on time, on schedule, and below budget. Those things should be reflected on your resume. So that's the kind of information that you should have on your resume. Again, as a member of the church, if you need help going over your resume, you can reach out to Kingsmen, who can also help to set up a resume critique or a resume clinic for church members. So, Dr. Leke, can I have your screen back?
Sure.
So after your resume, the next one is you need a cover letter. Make sure your cover letter is also up to date. Always make sure you review your cover letter to make sure there are no mistakes, there are no typos, and you should have a field for references in case the recruiter or the employer need to contact people that can vouch for you based on your experience. One very important platform that we must not neglect is the LinkedIn. The LinkedIn today has provided everyone, all working professional, an opportunity to put yourself out there. The way you create your profile, the way you manage your profile will help to broadcast you, and it can make it easier for people to find you. Here's an example of a LinkedIn page or profile, and this. Dr. Lege, do you want to just go on that profile? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Here's a profile for someone, for example. It should have its experience, a brief about me section that will just quickly summarize what you are capable of, what you are doing. And it contains your activities on the social media platform as well. So your current job status. And I know on LinkedIn, you can also indicate if you are open, if you are looking for a job, you can make it, you can set your profile such that recruiter will find you and they will know that you are currently in the market looking for jobs. I'm going to let Nduka, do you want to say anything about how to use LinkedIn as a working professional so that you can get the right people to look at your page and hopefully help you to land your next job?
I know when I was looking for a job at one time, after dealing with a layoff, one of LinkedIn was very important in my search because I was able to I was able to request recommendations from some of my peers, some of the people I'd worked with in the past, and just helps people see a positive impression of you. And a lot of recruiters actually go to LinkedIn to find information about you when you apply for the position. So having those recommendations from colleagues, even from managers, directors that you have worked with in the past will be very helpful. LinkedIn is also a very good job search tool, so you can use that as well. So I'll tell you that I know when I went through the layoff, one of the benefits that we got as part of the layoff was to get recruiters to coach us on how to apply for jobs. And the one thing they emphasized was making sure you have a very good profile on LinkedIn that stands out, because that's where a lot of recruiters go to. And even up till today, I still get, whenever I just put a little update on my LinkedIn, I still get calls from recruiters asking if I'm open to look at different positions. So it's a pretty good tool.
So
okay, go ahead, Doctor.
That was really good. Now, let me show you guys how to, if you ever get laid off, right, and you're looking for a job, I listened to this course. It's like this online MBA course that I listened to on Udemy. And it talks about how to get a job through LinkedIn. And a lot of people probably don't know how to use the platform, right? So this is my profile, right? First, make sure you have the most professional. If you have to go take it with someone, don't use your iPhone, right? Make sure you take a well-professional, like you're dressed up in a suit, and put it on your LinkedIn profile. Now you can upload as much information on your LinkedIn profile, like where you work, what you do, and all your experiences. Pretty much, it's like having your own CV online, right? So for example, you can see my experiences as an ER physician. I have a few companies, so I kind of put what I do there. I went to med school, college, the certifications that you have, right? But this is the best part, right? If you've worked with people before, you can ask them to write recommendations for you on LinkedIn. Now, people just randomly give you recommendations sometimes, right? They just, LinkedIn will suggest to them, do you know this person? And if, for example, people have been writing a lot of recommendations here for me. So if somebody's looking for me, right, and they go on my LinkedIn profile, these are recommendations that people that I've worked with, my friends, we went to school together, that they wrote about me. So if an employer is looking for, you know, a potential hire, right, they look at my LinkedIn profile like, wow, somebody wrote this. This is a, you know, these are legit, right? And you know, like your accomplishments, your publications, you can put them here. Now, the best way to look for jobs on LinkedIn, number one is, let's say you're applying to a company, all right? And this is what a lot of people do, right? They just go online, they apply blindly, and then they wait for a call, maybe from a recruiter. Now, the problem with that is you don't stand out, right? You know, all these applications go out and the companies don't want to go through the work of hiring or going through the hire. So they hire this, you know, recruiters. Now, recruiters are working for themselves because they work based on commission. Their goal is to find the best candidate so they can make a commission off this, you know, somebody like I can sell, right? Because, you know, they screen through everybody, find the best candidate for the company. So the company doesn't have to do a lot of work. The company that, you know, interviews you, they of course, the recruiter interviews you a little bit, and then that's kind of like the filter, right? All these companies are using for you to get into them. So here's what I usually recommend for people. You can still apply online like you did, but then what you want to do is basically look up the company and look up their profile on LinkedIn. Let's say, I don't know, can you guys give me like one company you guys can think of, or, you know, let's say there's, I can't think of any company off the top of my head right now, but, you know, let's say you're looking for jobs or something like that. I think that
Walmart.
Well, hey, let's do Walmart, right? So you can search for jobs here, right? These are different jobs that actually you can click here and search for jobs. Yeah, just go to LinkedIn here and search for jobs. You can type the kind of job you're looking for, right? If you're looking for, you know, I mean, Walmart would be a company, but you know, these are different jobs opportunities and start to find, but you can search for exact thing, like, you know, if you're mechanical engineer jobs, right? Now, what I always first recommend, there's the free version of LinkedIn and there's the premium version of LinkedIn. If you really want to, you're serious about getting a job, right? You're gonna have to spend some money. And I think it's about $50 a month or something. So you can upgrade your plan. Like you can see mine is like, you know, I have a premium account, okay? And that premium account allows you to be able to unlock the power of LinkedIn more, right? The basic one doesn't let you email people, and I'll tell you exactly what email means, right? So for example, if I want to send a message to someone that I don't know on LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn doesn't let you do that. But if you pay for the premium version, even it's $50 a month and you can cancel anytime. So I always recommend buy that, right? Because you're looking for a job, right? And then let's say, you know, let's pick this job. Like this is a mechanical engineering job. They're paying between $53,000 to $91,000, right? You can see, and you can apply directly through LinkedIn, right? You can literally, you read through the responsibilities. They're telling you like, look how many people have already applied for the job, like 693 people, right? The company is about 1,000 to 5,000 employees. You really get a good detail. They're like, I'm looking for a bachelor's degree, and you can scroll here and then you can apply. This is their base pay, right? And then you can apply right here, right? Through LinkedIn automatically, you know, and then it takes you to their website because then you're able to apply directly from their website, right? But once you've applied, right, then you want to look up this company. This company is called SpaceX, right? If I click on SpaceX on LinkedIn, it pulls up their LinkedIn profile. And then you can see, okay, let me read about this company. Like, what do they do? The company was founded by Elon Musk, right? This happened to be Elon Musk company, the guy, you know, who used to own PayPal and eBay. I'm sorry, eBay, and you know, and he's one of the this guy that owns Tesla right now, right? And you can kind of read about them, read about the people. And here's the kicker. Check this out. Look at what I just did. I clicked on people, and look at what popped up. These are all the different people that work at the company. Now you have direct access to people who work at the company. So now I'm like, oh, John works there. This is a LinkedIn member. This is a director. This is the director. And you can actually email them, right? Let's say, okay, for example, this is the aerospace executive. So you may be looking for, this is a director, right? Let's say I want to connect with this girl right now. She's a CEO, she's an executive assistant. I click connect, right? and it's gonna say I sent an invitation to her. But then I can look up her profile, click on her name. This is the work you're gonna be doing when you look for a job. And by now I have access to Reina. Reina works at SpaceX. I'm looking for a job at SpaceX. And then I can click message. And I can send a message. Hi, Reina, right? You know, and then what you want to do is before COVID-19, and before you actually reach out to someone, look at their profile, read about them, right? Look, she went to UCLA in Los Angeles, right? Here's some of the recommendations she has, blah, blah, blah. She works for Tesla. So what you want to do is, all right, listen, let's say you went to UCLA, like you want to find a common ground. Then when you reach out to her, you said, hi, Reina, I'm a graduate from UCLA, right? Where's my message here? You know, I'm a graduate, you know, how are you? You know, I'm a graduate from UCLA, right? Now, you won't be able to do this without a premium account. That's why I'm trying to show you guys. If you don't have the premium account, you cannot use this option. You know, I'm a UCLA grad, or maybe, you know, she lives in New Jersey or something. She lives in LA, or you live in LA. All you're doing this for is you're finding a common ground. Or I live in LA, right? I live in Los Angeles because you probably, you know, I live in LA, and I would like to, you know, usually before COVID, the trick is you tell people, you know, I have something important I want to discuss with you. We like to grab a cup of coffee, like so I can just, you know, and then the whole idea is that you want to kind of give them and ask them for their permission, like you would like to meet with them, like, you know, but you want to show that you have something in connection with them. And then if that person says yes, you're going to hear a lot of people say no. And because, you know, if you just say, oh, I'm looking for a job, people might not necessarily respond to you right away, right? But you kind of want to build a relationship with that person. Like, hey, I live in LA, blah, 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 blah. I'm a mechanical engineer. I see you. And then find something they're doing at SpaceX that interests you and say, hey, listen, I see you guys are doing this project at SpaceX. You guys have now with COVID, you can't really meet with people anymore. So I'll just say, listen, reach out to them, say, hey, listen, I saw this job on your website and I'm really, really interested, you know, and then maybe show a video recording. You know, you can use your cell phone or do you guys know about Loom? If you guys don't know about Loom, right? So Loom is this little icon right here. Can you guys see this little orange icon here, red icon? If you click on Loom, right? This is actually a video recording software. It's free. You just go to loom.com, right? And look at myself. You can see my picture at the bottom and I can record this screen. And what you can actually just do is you do a short recording or a little presentation, go to loom.com and download it. Oh, that's wrong. Loom.com, right? And you can download this software. It's really free. It's installed into your browser, right? And then when you send somebody an information, you say, hey, listen, I'm really interested. You kind of talk a little bit, maybe like 3 minutes presentation, like why you think you're a good fit for the company. And then you send it to her and say, Reina, listen, would you like to connect me with the director or the person who's hiring for this job? You see that process? Now you've done your homework. You know people that work at the company. You've able to do your work enough to be able to find out exactly how to get past the recruiters. You see that? Because if you just blindly apply like everybody else, you're just gonna appear just like everybody else. But if you spend time on LinkedIn, knowing the company, know what they do, right? And then you tell them what they're doing and tell them why you can add value and the experience that you have that matches what they're doing. You see how the difference is as an applicant, how you stand out. And all you do is just go down the list. Look, go down all the list of all these people and keep reaching out to all of them as much as you can, right? And you're gonna find, you know, there's a manager, and until you find the person that's gonna say yes to you, and then connect you to the people who are hiring, so you can get a chance into the door. Was that helpful, guys?
Sure, okay. Dr. Leke, that's very, very good. And I think you summed the last point up. You got to expand your connection when you are looking for a job. I think I like what Dr. Leke said. We live in a connected world right now. And the best way to maximize your connection is actually to go on LinkedIn, connect with more people. When you are looking for a job, I always tell people that looking for a job is a full-time job on its own. You got to expand your connection, talk to people. Don't just sit back, on your own and try to figure it out on your own. Reach out, talk to people. That LinkedIn page that Dr. Leke shared and showed, it's very, very important. If you are looking for a job in any company, you can actually reach out to employees of those companies, talk to them, have a discussion with them, and of course, be creative. The way to stand out is to be creative. We cannot do the same thing the same way that other 1,000 people are doing it and expect to get a different result. You are competing with millions of people out there. So you got to give yourself an edge. And the best way to do it is to use and maximize these LinkedIn features. So that's it. Let's go to the next slide.
Okay, just real quick, guys, you can see this is a Nigerian that works there, right? Obina, right? That's a perfect connection for you, right? You spend time to find one Nigerian and you can literally reach out to him and he can give you insider information. You see how powerful these things get? Like you can connect with him and say, look, Obina, I'm Nigerian. I have all this experience. How did you get into SpaceX? What can you tell me that I need to know to get in through the door, right? And that's what I'm trying to teach you guys, how to harness the power of this network. So let's go to the next slide.
And most of the time, when there is any opening, the internal people, those employees of that company, will be the first to know. Like the Obina that Dr. Leke just showed. If that guy knows that his manager is looking for maybe a mechanical engineer, Obina can go to his manager and say, hey, I have someone that will be a good fit. At least if they put you in front of the hiring manager, that's a huge leap ahead of thousands of other people that are looking for the same job. So yeah, let's use this LinkedIn feature. It's going to be beneficial. So where do I need to go in order to apply for job? So here are the list of some job boards that we can easily upload our resume. collegerecruiter.com. These are for fresh college grad. Energy Job Online, if you are looking for energy job. Techladies.com. This is focused on technology company, and they are looking for ladies specifically. So Tech Lady will be good. Engineering.jobs, if you are looking for engineering related jobs. Remoteok.io, if you want to work at the comfort of your home, then check out remoteok.io. Salesjobs.com, if you are looking for sales related roles. usajobs.com, again, these are federal government jobs. Or just go on Google and put and search for jobs. But LinkedIn, I find it to be the most powerful way that you can easily reach out to people and connect with people and find jobs. I think, Nduka, do you want to say something? Okay, so which way forward? Now we are on the medium term, right? Which way forward? We've talked about job search. We've informed you guys how to go about looking for jobs, that you need to clean up your resume, clean up your cover letter, put your profile online. If possible, we strongly recommend the LinkedIn Premium feature because it will let you reach out to recruiters, hiring managers, connect with employees, send email to people directly. But above all, you need to restart, reset, and re-engage. I have a friend that has been laid off in the oil and gas industry for 3 different times. In my opinion, restarting should not just limit you to going back to the same industry. Restarting may mean looking at other industries that you can actually go and work. And restarting also means looking at where else can I take my skills to so that I can get another opportunity to work. So you have to think, again, we said we got to think outside the box. So restarting is about thinking outside the box. For example, my background is electrical engineering. I recently took a role as a commercial application engineer, and this role actually exposed me to sales. Right now, I can go and work as a sales engineer. So you have to think about other areas, other roles that you can actually work in that you will still be able to move forward with your career. And researching is also about thinking about outside the box. What can I do? What skills do I need to learn? The last time when we had this seminar, we shared several platforms that we can all go and learn something. Uh, I have a friend that just got a job as a programming analyst. This lady friend of mine, she does not know how to write programming. And do you know what she did? She went on Udemy and she bought a training package on SQL. And now she picked up skills in SQL and programming. So knowledge is available. We all have to do our own bits and search and go where we can learn. And the good thing about this is that all these courses, they are not that expensive. You can get a course for, you can see 18 bucks, 12 bucks, 14 bucks. So if there is any skills that you think you need to learn, you do not have to go to any traditional school in order to pick up those skills. What we are saying is that you can leverage platforms like Udemy, Teachable, Skillshare, all those platforms that you can go on there, search, and find something to learn. Dr. Leke, I know you are very passionate about Udemy and learning online. Do you want to chip in anything with the learn?
Absolutely. So, did you know that one of the biggest industry, I think it's almost, I don't know, it's probably $1 billion industry at this point, is online course learning. Like it's the biggest thing going on right now in the world because everybody's learning on their phones, on their tablets, and if you have a knowledge to share, right? And we'll talk about this, right? Is if you have something you can teach other people, you can create a course and you can start selling it. Like if you have something that other people need, but not just what they need, but what would change their life, right? Let's pick Unduka, for example. He's got math easy, right? Well, there's a problem in the world. We have a mathematical problem in the world, right? And kids are struggling with math, right? And he built a course, and the course is to help you learn math the easy way, right? From this company, matheasy.com. If you haven't signed up yet, go to matheasy.com right now and sign up. Sign up all your kids. They're in middle school, high school, try to get their ACTs, right? So you have to sit down and say, what in the world do people need? And let me solve that problem, okay? And we'll talk about that at the end. I have multiple online courses, and it's really easy to actually get started. But before you get started, always ask yourself the question, what I'm about to put out into the world, is this something that people need and something that's gonna solve their problem? And what problem are you trying to solve, okay? And is it even worth solving, right? So for me, doctors, when we go to medical school, it's very hard and it's a lot of jargons. And if you're coming in for the first time, you do not understand the knowledge. So I happen to be gifted since I was younger to be able to teach people in a way that things are so simple to understand. That's my gift. So I turned my gift into a passion. That passion led me to realize, man, all these doctors and all these medical students are struggling to understand the concept. So I started my YouTube channel and started making YouTube videos, right? And these videos are supposed to simplify the way you learn medicine. Now, the way I started is this, right? You can see here, for example, I made a little short video about 8 years ago, and the video now has 1.7 million views. Now, are you gonna get 1.7 million views right away? No, it's gonna take a long time before you get there, right? But you have to keep putting out this content, right? So that if it's something people want, right? This is just to give you an example to show you that people are struggling. And when I made this short little video, all these things people are putting on YouTube are people putting out free information out there. And that's an opportunity to start to brand yourself. Now, is it going to take time? Yes. This was me like almost 8 years ago, 2012, right? And, and now I put this together as a whole course online. Now I have my own website where I sell all these courses, right? But you can use website like Teachable, all right, where you can literally start, upload your courses on Teachable, or you can also use the other one is thinkific.com. If you don't know what it is, all right, thinkific.com right here, where you can start selling your courses. You literally pay a small fee, right? A monthly fee. It's $39 as the basic, or you can start with, and basically this is where you start selling your courses. You put them together and then you upload it online, but then you have to know how to sell it and how to drive people to come and buy your course, right? That's where the brand and the sales and marketing come into place. But, from what we talked about last time, it's all step by step, right? You have to offer the world something that they need and solve that problem. And then we'll talk about that, and you see how this will take time, but eventually I've been doing this for 10 years, right? So you have to understand, like, it's a long-term thing, but start to put in the work and you start to network and you start to spread the word about what you have to offer, then people will start to pay you for it. Okay.
Excellent, Dr. Leke. So again, what we are saying here is not that you have to be an employee. We said that when we started, but if your path is to go look for a job, definitely, I believe everything that we've shared so far today will be helpful. And one other thing that we do at Kingsman Network is we are mentors, right? If you need help, whether it's in reviewing your resume, your cover letter, or giving you a quick guidance on how to attend interview and practice interview, then you need to reach out to Kingsman Network, and we'll all be there to support you so that you can get back up. But there's another part. If your part is not to go back to the labor force and you feel like I'm capable, it's my passion to start my own business, then definitely go for it. In our church, we have the TKP Business and Professional Fellowship. We have a president. You can connect with Business and Professional Fellowship fellowship and reach out to them to see how they can guide you as you start your videos, training videos, and they are teaching other people. And by teaching other people, they are making money. If there is any skill at all that you have, if there is any talent that you have at all, you too can learn how to sell and market yourself so that you can also make money in return. So because right now, knowledge has been democratized, it's available everywhere. You can learn anything. On Teachable, you can teach yoga. If you know how to play any musical instrument, you can teach other people. People are looking to learn all the time. So how to learn piano. Here's an example.
So you can see here that people are creating these courses, right? They're putting them on Udemy, and Udemy is selling them, and they pay you when people buy your courses, right? So Udemy is another great platform, not only to learn, but to upload your own courses also. This is being done by millions and millions of people every day. And don't say, oh, like people are already doing it, maybe it's not for me. No, the world has so much abundance that, you as a business person, as an entrepreneur mindset, have to say, listen, I have something unique I'm bringing to the table, and I'm willing to do everything possible, right? That's the mindset you have to have. So literally, I don't care what it is, how to cook something, and, somebody needs help to learn this stuff, and you'll be amazed, like, how to take care of dogs. I know this might sound like stupid, but how to take care of a dog, right? Somebody has a pet photography masterclass, like literally, and 90 people already put a review on it, and it's only 2 hours, right? Dog owner training for a happy family. So you might think the smallest and the non-essential things that maybe nobody cares about, but there are people out there who love their dogs, right? Like, so if you're a dog lover and you want to solve that problem and you feel like it's worth solving, then you can create a course about it. and sell it on Udemy, on Teachable, right? But we're trying to open your mind to see the possibilities that are out there. And we'll talk about a little bit more guidance, but hopefully this is helping, okay?
Okay. So ultimately, if your path is to start a business, then go ahead, register your LLC. You can consider franchising as well. And you should know how to balance profit with passion.
So if you want to register your LLC, sorry to cut you off, but you don't need to go to LegalZoom or anything like that, guys. Sometimes people want to register the LLC, they think they need a lawyer. Literally, I've opened multiple LLCs. It literally just type in Texas LLC, all right? Go to the SOS. This is the Secretary of State website. So if you want to start a company, literally, you just go to this is the way and then you see it says limited liability company, Texas LLC, right? You want to start your own little business, right? And you go here to fill, I believe it's filing options. Where is it at? Business forms, all right? And then there's trademark, there's business and nonprofit forms. And then you search LLC, limited liability, right? I believe it's form right here. See 205. And there's a PDF, right? You literally, so if you want to form any business in Texas, you just click on PDF or a Word document. This is the form you fill out, guys. Literally, it's $300. You fill this out, you put a check in there, you mail it out within a week or 2 weeks. They'll send you back and verify to make sure. And it's really easy. Just whatever your name is, you just put it in here. I think and then for the entity that you want to form, and then basically, and then you send this out. It's really that simple. And then you get your LLC registered in Texas. I think you can also search for the LLC database in Texas. Right here on the Secretary of State, Texas Secretary of State website. So this is where you can, let's see. No, not this one. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm sure there's actually a place where you can search for different LLC to make sure nobody else already had the LLC that you wanted. I will probably, it's on their website here. Let me go to their main page. Find a form, start a business. And I will have to, and I would not, now you can even track your business filing online. I didn't even know that. Oh, this is for document number. I don't have that right now, but there's a way for you to search that. But it's really that simple, guys, to file an LLC. What we try to give to you here at Kingsman is real world application, all right? We're not gonna give you general knowledge. We're gonna tell you, this is what you need to do, and this is how you do it, and this is where you go to get it done, all right? And that's, if you have knowledge and you don't apply it, it's useless information, all right? And this is this, I filled this out this form multiple times for all the businesses that I open, and it's pretty much available, and then you can get that done, okay?
Absolutely. So I think that's where I'm gonna stop my own presentation. But before I go, or before I stop, if your path is to prepare for interview and look for a paid employment, here are some quick points that you need to take note. You need to research the company you want to apply for. You need to practice, make sure you are ready for interview. And you need to learn the interview skills. And maybe if you don't know, talk to a coach. Get someone that will train you, that will coach you on how to properly answer interview questions. The easiest place to go, and I know, like Dr. Leke said, we are not just talking about do this. We are showing you how to actually do it. And I think maybe we all have something in common here. Luca is a teacher. He's passionate about maths. Dr. Leke is all about business. He also has all those teaching skills. I myself am also passionate about career. So, and that's what we do. We teach. So if you want to learn how to interview, just go on YouTube or go to my website, winnersways.com. I had a couple of interview questions on my podcast that you can just go to and learn how to answer interview questions. But of course, YouTube is available to every one of us. Just type, how do I answer a question like, tell me about yourself? Or maybe it's a question of how to get ready and go for interview. Episode 66 of my podcast was about how to negotiate your salary. All those things you can learn and pick knowledge before you go for your interview. And that's what we are trying to communicate. And I think that's it.
Ways
podcast sorry about that.
With Bola.
Check out his podcast. It's really good. All right. Are you on iTunes podcast?
Yes.
All right. So if you guys don't listen to podcasts, or if you're not familiar with podcasts, like on your phone, if you just type in the app at the App Store, just go to the App Store and you see this little icon here for Apple Podcast. Once you download this app, you can search whatever podcast you want to listen to. I listen to a lot of podcasts when I'm driving, and it's really good way for you to get free knowledge. People are sharing all this free knowledge, and you can download them and search for whatever topics that you want to learn, and you can see the reviews of the person who has a podcast, and it's a good way to really get started and to keep expanding your knowledge base. Okay, but check out winnersways.com. All right, he's got plenty of articles. If you need help with coaching, reach out to him. He may charge you a fee for it, but it's worth it just to kind of get your resume edited also, or things like that. But he's got a lot of great content. Winnersway.com by Engineer Adebola Alabi is really, really awesome.
So I dropped my Calendly link on the chat. If you need to schedule a time with me, we can quickly get together and talk about interview preparation. So that's it. Let's go to the next one.
All right, guys. So we're going to wrap up with the untold truths about money, okay? This video I found online, and I wanted you guys to kind of watch this. And you can get it on YouTube. It's there for free. But kind of like why we all been sold the wrong equation in life from the get-go, and how you can start to change your mindset during this COVID-19 season. So let's watch this. It's a little bit long. It's 17 minutes long. So what I'll do is I'll still put the link in there, but I will kind of like play maybe the first, let me kind of fast forward a little bit.
This is what $10 million would look like. This is what $100 million would look like. And this is what $1 billion would look like. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, has a net worth of 117 times this number. And then there's you. You're probably working a job right now, one that you got from the degree that you studied for in university. You probably don't have much in savings. Your living expenses seem ridiculously high. You feel as though you're not paid enough. You have credit card debt that needs taken care of. Maybe you're a student studying for a degree that you hope can land you a job that you hope can bring in some good money. You probably don't have any savings, only a pesky student debt hanging above your head. Wealth? Getting rich? That all seems like a distant dream. How did they do it, you ask yourself? Seeing all those millionaires, billionaires, especially the ones who got there at such a young age, it baffles you. It makes you angry. They got lucky. They were born into wealth. They cheated their way to the top. Money doesn't make them happy. Money is evil anyway. I'm not smart enough. I'm just unlucky. Those dreams you had of buying that mansion, your favorite sports car, paying off your mortgage, traveling around the world, they'll forever remain that way. Just dreams. Nothing more. Nothing less. You come to the harsh realization, it's a rigged game. It's been a rigged game from the start. And you're on the losing side of it. But what if I told you you were wrong? What if there was a way of getting there? An actual equation to wealth, a science behind the way money works. What if you didn't have to abandon those dreams of paying off your parents' mortgage or traveling around the world? Would you call me a liar for saying so? I promise that I'm not. And by the end of this video, you'll understand. There's a side to the coin that you're not being shown. But I warn you, the road is tough. It's filled with struggle. It's filled with ups and downs. It will mean swallowing some difficult truths that the school system and society haven't told you yet. And let me be clear, there are many of you who will not make it to the end of this road. But for those of you that do, at the end of this road lies wealth beyond what you thought you could attain. At the end of that road lies the freedom of never having to worry about money again. So, Are you with me? Are you desperate to have more of it? Have you been chasing it most of your life? Truth is, most of what you think about money has been influenced by your upbringing and environment. If you were born into a family that didn't have much money growing up, then you're more inclined to believe that you too will not grow up to have much money. Or perhaps you went on the complete opposite end and decided to make as much money as you can so that you will never be in that position again. The fact that your school didn't teach you much about this subject doesn't help things. And because of this, most of you are going to have false beliefs about money that aren't going to help you on this journey. Now stick with me here, because we're going to have to change the way you've been seeing money your whole life. Hollywood has always had a habit of depicting the wealthy and rich as evil, backstabbing, entitled, or corrupt individuals.
If you would get me a squirrel, I'll get one myself.
Question is, have you bought into that stereotype? A recent report released by WealthX showed that of the world's ultra-wealthy, those that had a net worth of 30 million or more, 68% of them were self-made. And it seems like every other study backs up this conclusion. Warren Buffett, self-made billionaire. Howard Schultz, born in poverty. Oprah Winfrey, born in poverty. Jeff Bezos, self-made billionaire. Elon Musk, self-made billionaire. Sarah Blakely, self-made billionaire. What is it that these people know that you don't? Truth is, your equation is all wrong. Here's the two-dimensional equation that you've been taught. Money equals salary earned from a job. Past a certain point, the prospect of getting a job becomes the sole purpose of your education. So what's wrong with that, you ask? I'm going to assume that if you're watching this, you want to make money, a lot of it, and in as short amount of time as possible. If that is your goal, then this equation for generating money will never get you there. We all have one precious resource, the most important resource of all, and once it's gone, there's no way of getting it back. That resource is time. In a standard job, the amount of money you earn is dependent on the amount of time you put into that job. If you earned $20 an hour and worked 40 hours a week, it would take you nearly 24 years to reach a total of $1 million. But that is without subtracting any taxes or any expenses that you will incur over 24 years. And let's not forget that inflation will make your $1 million less valuable. The reality is that on a salary of $20 an hour, you can only really be a millionaire at an old age by living frugally. And most of that precious resource known as time has slipped through your fingers. You traded all that time for money, and it wasn't even a substantial amount either. So again, you ask yourself, how is it then that there are self-made millionaires and billionaires at such young ages? What makes them so different? And the truth is, they have a better equation than you. They have a way of understanding money that you haven't quite grasped yet. Pay very close attention now. Stop chasing money. In a capitalist society, the rules of the game are as follows. You are paid in proportion to the perceived value that you have. And the people that perceive your value, they are the market, the consumers of the economy. The market is you, your friends, your family, your neighbors, your country. People complain that football players are overpaid, but for players to be paid millions, there has to be a market for the football industry in the first place. People have to see the value in football in the first place for them to want to spend money on matches and merchandise. And if the market is a high demand for football, guess what happens to the players who are at the top of their game? They are paid generously for it. It's not about how hard you work. The cleaner that's sweating and tiring himself out every day is paid far less than the accountant sitting behind a desk. Why? Because the market perceives the value of what the cleaner does to be far less than the accountant. As harsh as it may sound, the cleaner can be replaced by anybody. It isn't difficult to learn how to do his job, and therefore the market will not pay him more than the accountant, the guy who spent years studying numbers, the guy who has saved his clients thousands on their taxes. But even so, we just discussed how getting a job isn't the right equation to amassing a great amount of wealth in a shorter period of time. So then how can we increase our perceived value? What is it about people like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos that makes their perceived value so high? The first step to this equation of wealth is quite simple. If you want money, solve problems. If you take a second to digest this statement, you'll realize that just about all money runs from this basic premise. If it solves a problem, money will be thrown at it. If it's $1 million $1 million problem, then the solution will make you millions. If it's $1 billion problem, then the solution will make you billions. Think about all the problems that a site like Amazon solves. The hassle of going to a store, the hassle of having to wait weeks for a delivery, cheaper prices, and so on. Not to mention all the other companies that Amazon owns and the problems that those companies solve. Jeff Bezos helped solve $1 billion problem and was rewarded favorably for doing so. If you've been chasing money, then you've been doing it all wrong. It sounds almost paradoxical, but if you want money, it isn't money that you should be looking for. You should be looking for problems, and more importantly, solutions to those problems. And once you've found that solution, make a business around it. Wait, so that's it? Just solve problems and money will appear? So I'm gonna have to create the next Amazon for me to be rich, or the next Facebook or Google? You've got to be kidding me, right? I don't even know how to code. I don't even have the money to start something of that scale. Hold on. You're once more going into old patterns of thinking. Start with the problem. Always start with the problem. Listen to the market around you. What are people saying they don't like? What are people saying they wish existed? What are people saying frustrates them? What do people think is incredibly inconvenient? Is that a problem that you can solve? And also, is it a problem that is worth solving? The final step of this equation to wealth is finding a scalable solution to the problem. Your solution needs to affect a magnitude of people. Starting a restaurant, that's not scalable. You're constrained to the local area and the footfall of that area. But a franchise, now that's more scalable. Is your solution a piece of software? Then that means once that software has been built, you can scale it infinitely online without needing to worry about things like production or shipping costs, as it's all done virtually. Good luck finding infinite scale with a job. But be careful. Does your solution require your time to generate money? Let's say you were a yoga teacher that charged $100 per hour. Congratulations, you only made yourself another job disguised as a business. There's only a certain amount of lessons that you can feasibly do in one day, and therefore your income is time-bound. But if you created an online yoga class that ran 24/7 with lessons you only had to create once, now that is scalable. Scaling your solution is critical here, so do not get lost on this point. Automation also plays an important role. Systems and processes will keep your business running like a smooth machine if implemented properly. If there is something in your business that you can outsource to somebody else or hire an employee to do it for you, assuming it financially makes sense for you to do so, then do it. Tasking yourself with everything is a bad thing. As much as you may think you're the best, there's someone out there that can do a better job than you. Once you've found a solution, it's your job to make sure that solution can be accessed by everyone in your market. It's not about your ego, and it's not about what you're passionate about. The market doesn't care about your passions. So now that you have your profitable business running with the right systems and processes in place, it's time to move on and reap what you sowed. There are two likely paths you're going to face at this point. You either continue your business or cash in and sell it. This is the acquisition, the moment someone buys the solution that you spent years building a business around. This is Instagram being acquired by Facebook for $1 billion. This is PayPal being sold to eBay for $1.5 billion, of which $165 million went straight to Elon Musk's pocket, and the countless other liquidation events that happen across the world. This is where all the effort that you spent into building your company comes to fruition. And if you choose to continue running your business, well, there's a multitude of reasons for you wanting to do so. Maybe you love the company that you built and want to stick with your baby. Maybe you think you can add more value to the company and sell it down the line for more than it's currently worth. Perhaps that business runs passively in the background, so you don't have to do much to keep the wheels turning. Or maybe it's a combination of these three things. Either way, you did it. You solved a problem that the market wanted solving, and it rewarded you favorably for doing so. And so now I ask you, what was it all for anyway? For most of you, it was never about the money. Money is just a piece of paper, a number on a screen. Its value is only backed up by our belief in its value. From the very start, This was never about the money. Paying off the mortgage, buying your dream car, traveling around the world, never having to worry about your financial situation, it's the freedom that you were looking for. Your destination wasn't anything monetary related. It was a feeling, a sensation, the ability to do what you want whenever you wanted without ever having to cast a thought towards, can I afford this? Have I used up all my holidays for the year? How am I going to pay the rent? Will I be able to live off my pension? What dreams will I have to sacrifice because I can't afford to pursue them? The most important lesson from this video was never about the nature of money. It was about the one valuable resource that we all have, the one resource we will never be able to reclaim: time. Is giving up a large chunk of your time towards a job that you probably don't like worth it? Is your life settled on working, coming home, watching the telly, sleeping, waking up the next day, and repeating the same cycle till you retire? How many more hours of your life do you let slip through because of this pattern? Perhaps you're fine with that reality. Perhaps you have no other choice but to follow that path for the time being. And if that's the case, there's nothing to worry about. The most you got from this video was a little entertainment and maybe a change in perspective. But there are those of you that understand the other side. Those of you that have the desire to never need to worry about money ever again. And so I feel the need to remind you, stop chasing money, chase problems and find the solution to those problems. This is the equation through which all money is found. If you desire liberty through never needing to worry about money ever again, then let solving problems be the meaningful struggle in your life. Does it mean you'll be happy at the end of the road? Does it mean you'll feel fulfilled? Only you can answer that question. But if your struggle is meaningful, then perhaps it's worth pursuing.
So there you have it, guys. So I wanted to show you that video because, you know, it got me thinking about what we've been pre-wired since we were born as individuals, and the other side of the coin that we're being dealt with from the get-go, right? We are all been pre-wired to get a job from the day we're born to the day we finish, you know, middle school, high school, college, and graduate. That's how we've been pre-wired. So that's the only way we think, right? Which means the only way you can make money in your life and the way we've been taught in schools is we have to get a job, a salary that gives us a living. But the other flip side of the coin is, and then we go to work every day chasing this little piece of paper. That's just a little piece of paper. That's all it is. Like, money is just basically a piece of paper that we added value to, and we all believe that it has value. That's it, right? I can cut a piece of paper in my house and try to sell it, but nobody's gonna buy it. Use it, to buy anything. So the problem is that I start to realize that it's our mindset that we've been brainwashed for a very long time, and then one day we are asking ourselves, why am I broke? Why don't I have enough? Why am I always having money problems? Why can't we afford this? Why can't I send my children to good schools? Why can't, I afford to buy something, for my parents? I work and there's nothing left at the end of the day, right? We all been there. We all struggle through this. Like, you just can't understand the reason why, right? It's because we are on the other side of the equation. The other people who are the producers, right, are the one who are making the real money. The employer that you go to work for are the one he took the risk to create a business, a company, and you say, I'm not gonna take any risk. I'm gonna take the easy route and go get a degree and come work for somebody who took all the risk. And since we choose not to take risk, these guys who build these companies and these corporations then get to control our lives and tell us how many holidays in a year you get to have, how many vacations you get to have, how many overtime you can get. Like, they control our lives. And then we complain like, oh, I don't have enough time to spend with my children. I don't have enough time to spend with my husband. I don't have enough time to go to church. I don't have enough time to do this, right? And all you're saying is basically somebody's controlling your life and telling you what to do. And the underlying factor is just basically because you have to work to earn a living. And then we say, oh, God bless me, give me money, and God said himself, I created the world. God didn't go and look for a job when he created the planet, all right? He said in the beginning, in Genesis, right? He talked about how God created heaven and earth. So he gave us the secret from the get-go in the Bible, but we failed to see it. God did not go and look for a job. He did not go and look for an opportunity. He spent time to create and solve a problem. He saw the world was, the whole earth was, dark and without void, right? And he started creating things, right? So which means for us to get that freedom we're looking for, right? It's not even the money we're looking for. We're looking for freedom. We're looking for, I don't have to go to work today because I choose not to, because I have enough money to take care of my children, my family, my loved ones, my parents, right? Without having to get up and grunt. 80% of people in America hate the jobs they do. Now, is there anything wrong starting from a job? No. But stopping there and complaining and thinking maybe my life will get better will never change anything. So we have to rewind our thinking. So the book that this last video was based on is called The Millionaire Fast Lane, right? Cracking the Code to Wealth and Live Rich for Fast Lane. You should grab this book, listen to it, or watch or read it for sure. And I'm reading it right now. And basically the summary of the book, and I'm going to give it to you guys, it's what the video said, right? Find a problem that people hate and solve it. The woman who says Nigerians don't have access to Nigerian food in Houston, who decided to go and start her own restaurant, right? And start a franchise out of it, not a small restaurant, a franchise out of it. I'll give you a perfect example. Look at the guy that has Wazobia. The guy's a multi-millionaire, right? He said, listen, I live in Katy and people have to go all the way to Bisonet, right? Which is dirty, and people just, when you go there, like, there's house flies on your food, like, you even feel embarrassed, right? Sometimes when you walk in there, they don't clean the place. So somebody said, here's a problem. People don't like this. Let me create a well-designed Nigerian food store, right? He took the risk, start importing foods. When you go to Wazobia, you can compare and contrast the difference between Wazobia and Bisonet. And what do you end up doing? You end up going back to Wazobia because you like the service you got there, right? But now he has another franchise of it, which is he built another one, right? But that's him finding a problem that people hate and he solved it, right? And that's the mindset you have to have. Don't just say, I just want to start a business. You can't do that, right? Because you're not making a rational decision. It's a calculated risk. You're just not taking any risk. So a lot of people, when they start a business, they don't know anything about the business and they didn't calculate the risk, right? Let's say you like to, I don't know, knit or something. And it's a passion of yours, but it doesn't solve people's problem. It's not a need that people want. Guess what? You just create another job for yourself. You didn't create a business, right? Because the problem is you start to realize, well, people don't care about your passions. People care about you solving their problems. I'll pick, church, for example. Why do people come to church? People come to church because they want to come and worship God. But at the same time, they're looking for help because we believe that Christ is going to solve our problem. If I come to church, I'm going to get my answers prayers. But people have all these problems, so they come to church to get that problem solved. So if you as a pastor can reach millions of people, what do you think is going to happen in return? People are going to pay their tithe and their offering, and you're going to expand the entire church. The same thing in all these businesses, right? You have to make sure that the business you're trying to get into can impact millions of people, all right? So don't just follow your passion, accept your passion, solve people's problems. Now, here's the most important thing. Don't chase money. Here's the problem with us, right? Let's say I don't have a job, I lose my job, you go get another job, right? And you don't make enough money. There are two things you can do to yourself. You can add value to yourself by, so I always tell people, listen, I used to be a waiter, and I used to work in the, for UPS, like at the back of a bookstore, and they used to pay me $5 an hour. Right? And my job is to unload UPS truck all day long. That's my job, and put books on the shelf and then mop the floor. And they pay $5 an hour. And I remember, I was trying to get a raise and they wouldn't give me a raise, right? One time when I was working in college, I was a tutor and I was teaching, and I went to my boss and I said, listen, can you give me a 25-cent raise? Because I don't think it's right. I'm teaching all the students, and I don't have a bachelor's degree, but this guy's a bachelor's and master's, and you're paying $15 an hour. And my boss said, we're sorry, we're not going to pay you 25 cents extra. I'm like, why? She's like, you don't have a bachelor's degree. I'm like, that's ridiculous stuff. I was very upset. But what I didn't understand is they're telling me that my value right now is only worth $6, right? So of course, you go to school, get an additional degree, right? And you go up into echelon of society whereby people see your perceived value of what you're worth in the job market space. Right? And then you pay you for that value, right? Why these engineers, the CEOs of the corporations, they're paid a lot of money because of the value they have. But once you get there, you don't stop there. Then you have to create a business that can start to give you multiple streams of income, so that if you're not working, your company can still be making money from you, for you, okay? So don't chase money. All you need to do is solve a problem that's going to add value to millions of people's lives. And eventually, when you create that company, that's going to take time, a lot of knowledge and learning, you automate that business so you don't have to physically be there. For example, if you open a restaurant and you have to go open it up in the morning, clean up the burgers and whatever, and by the end of the night, you're so tired, all you've done is create another job for yourself. And your chance to scale that business is so low. Now, if you're happy with that, that's totally fine. That's okay with it, okay? Now, also think about scaling and magnitude. Scaling means like, what business am I going to go into? For example, I create an online course. Those videos I put on YouTube will continue to have more views, and I'm making money on those videos for the rest of eternity, as long as YouTube is there, right? So you create something that continues to make you money regardless, right? And you can scale it, and it can go up in scale and magnitude. Now, at the end of the day, guys, we're not all looking for money. We're just looking for freedom. We want to be able to do whatever we want when we want to do it, right? While money is being made, from our work that we've done, right? It's like a seed. And then we can spend time with our children, our family, our loved ones, travel the world, do all these things, go to church, right? All these things that we really want to do. That's all we're chasing, not necessary. It's that feeling of having to know that, my God, I don't have to get up out of bed and go to this miserable work again. Right? And you come home and yell at your children and your spouse because your boss is yelling at you and you really hate what you do, but you're stuck with it. That's what we're all chasing. But it's because of the mindset we've had and we've been programmed that way. And in the end, the only thing that will give you happiness is actually helping other people, right? Even if you amass all that money, if you don't learn how to change people's lives, you will never really find true happiness. And that's what God wants for us, right? He wants us to be able to help other people and let his glory go through us and shine and basically show that, listen, this is what I want a Christian to look like. And then people will mimic you, and it's easy for them to accept Jesus. It's really not that complicated, right? So I hope this was helpful, all right? And finally, I just want to, this is our summary. Don't give up during this COVID-19 season. Don't badmouth your employer. Form a good network. Look for other job options if you want the job route and you continue to make money. Think outside of the box, all right? So developing new skills, add value to your life, all right? Learn from online courses. Start thinking about how to create your own business. But remember, don't create a business that becomes a job. And be willing to fail until you succeed. I have failed so many times, guys. So many times. But that's the only way you're going to learn to succeed. That's why the road is very hard. Solve problems that are worth solving and look for opportunities and impact millions. And I'm going to leave you guys with this quote by formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Never wish life was easier, guys. Wish you were that you were better. That's Jim Rohn. Thank you. If you guys have any questions, please feel free. Brad, Debo, you can chip in.
Okay, the video is live online on YouTube. If you are not able to join us today, we are going to send the YouTube link to the church forum so that you can watch this at your convenience. Hey, thank you, everyone. Thanks, Nduka, and thanks, Dr. Leke.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming today. We really appreciate it. Bramusa, do you want to say something? I see you're there. Can you? Let me see. I don't know if he's.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I apologize. I was in and out. Some business things I was chasing. I needed to attend to. Sorry, my apologies for that. But I think I got the general gist. Thanks for everything you did. But I just wanted to say I actually came across a new definition of failure. It said failure is not falling. It's a recent definition. I think it really had an impact on me. It's a failure is not falling, but refusal to stand. So I think you said failing many times. I just wanted to chip that in. Failure is not falling, but the refusal to stand back up. Refusal to stand back up. But I think it's been a good section. I think you also said the right things, connecting with the business. There are quite a few people who have started business. I'm one of those. And I like what you said. My passion is teaching. I love teaching. I've always touched through my career is because I just love to do it. That's an extra part of my job. And I had to mentor a lot of young engineers. But what I'm doing right now is probably, I know I'm good at it, and that's the business I run now. But my passion is teaching. So I like when you say people don't really care about your passion, but about the problems you solve. And if there are any people, ultimately, career is great. I think it's thinking ahead. I don't want to repeat what you said. Thinking ahead of your career and start planning what next after this career, or I mean, a strategy to exit that career. I see it as a platform to build capital so you can start solving those problems that can give you value. Of course, I like you when you made that comment about what God did. God rested on the seventh day. So if you really want to take the path to solving problems, there's going to be 6 days of hard work, you know. And right now, I started a business about 3 years now. Even during the tough seasons we've been through, especially this COVID series, but I just thank God that the focus has been good and God is helping us. But I know that I could begin to see the place where I'm going to rest, just looking at what God has brought us through. I'm just using myself as an example here, and I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm trusting God. Every time I'm drawing closer to those marks, I'm very grateful. But I want to emphasize the fact that God is a creator. He wants us to create. Or when God was creating, there was 6 days of full hard work, and He rested. So know that you may even give up some freedoms initially because of that hard work. Startups demand time and attention. The way our pastor put it once when he was giving me counsel was, when a plane is taking off, yeah, everybody's at alert, watching, making sure everything goes well, because that's a crucial time for a plane to crash is at takeoff or landing. But once you get to a cruising altitude, everybody can relax and start eating snacks and chatting and whatever they need to do. So starting business can be demanding. With the right counsel, the right research, it can also be successful, and people encouraging you and not taking false steps, don't just jump. If you need guidance, and there are quite a lot of people that can give you relevant guidance. It may not be expert. Sometimes about peer review is, sometimes people who ask the questions that make you think whether you've done a thorough job. It's not so much the people that are experts of what you're doing. People may have completely the couple who are curious and ask, what about this? So sometimes you might not say, okay, this person has relevant experience, so I'll speak. There are cases where you have to do if you're doing technical things. But if it's about processes, you might be surprised that your best, again, Engineer Bola say we do mentor people in the Kingsman workshop. The best people may add value to your process and improve it is people that may have a different perspective and ask some very mind that could stimulate a lot more thinking and review of what you've done to help you succeed. I'll pause because you guys have done an excellent job. I want to thank you all for your time. It's been a very good time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Brad Musas. So we're just gonna wrap up. If you guys have any questions, please here's our website, kingsmannetwork.com. Here's our website. Just feel free. Its email is info@kingsmannetwork.com. You can contact us. If you'd like to support us, sponsor us, and donate to our scholarship foundation, you can click here to donate, and basically donate to our platform, and we'll be more than happy. We support a lot of students going to college to give them funds to be able to kind of aid them, to be able to get some free scholarships through the Kingsman Network, so they can also kind of help them with their education. Just click donate now, and we can get up to $1,000, $2,000, $10,000. We're really appreciate your donation. Thank you guys for coming today. Thank you, bro Debor. Thank you, Indica, and everyone. We'll be having another session soon. We'll send out the notification. You guys have an awesome weekend, and God bless each and every one of you.
God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you all.
Thanks.
Enjoy.